Okay, welcome back. It's a busy day here at the shop. You can hear in the background Mike's grinding away in the shop on the Pontiac, on the underbody. I'm going to be replacing the rear brakes on the Ford today, all the way around, all four corners, putting new brake shoes. They want this car's going to Australia, and they say they want to see new brake shoes with the box and pictures and everything, so they know. We'd already looked at the brakes prior when it came here, and it didn't need brake shoes. As you can see, there's plenty of left on there, but they want to see new ones. So I guess in the end of the day, we can put those in a box, put them in the car for the customer, and he'll have new brake shoes later down the road, these ones here, and we'll put the brand new ones on. So we did replace the wheel cylinders in the front of this car, but the back are fine, and we did some brake lines. So I'm going to do that on all four corners of the car there today. As you can see, here's the hood of the 72 Blazer. It's all painted up. Looking good. And Sean's in here. There's my Model A. Model A's right there. We had painted on the Model A. We painted up and around the window frame here because I want to put my dash in here and start to get, when I get the body on the frame, I want to get the dash painted and everything wired up. So we're going to be painting the firewall this week also. So Sean's in here. He's painting the jams on the truck today. There we go. You can see the jams here. Nicely painted. Working on the doors. Get the doors all done. This is just the base right now. Still got to get in there and give it some more base and then some clear. Then we'll leave it sit up for the week, and then next week we can do the outer body and on the road it goes. Now the other thing I'm working on today too, besides this car, and you can see I did some with the fender and that. I still got to do the rocker. The only rust repair I got left on the 54 is the rocker, and then boom, we're off for body. But I've also, lots on the go here folks, I've also got all the brakes laying out here for Terry's Custom. There we are. Brand new wheel cylinders, brand new front hoses, brand new brake shoes, spring kits, brand new master cylinder. I put in it late last night and bled it all. So it's got a new master cylinder down underneath the floor there, you can see. Remember I said I couldn't find the steering rods? Well, guess what? I found this one. I found this one stashed away in my goodies. I'm still looking for this one, and I know I bought it. So it's got to be here somewhere. If I found one, I know the other one's here. So I'm going to put that new steering connector on that side today, get the brakes on the front of this today, get the front brake lines ran. They're all right there, already pre-bent, new, ready to go. Like I had put these on here like 4 or 5 years ago for Terry, and they were new then, so there's nothing wrong with them. I blew them out, I cleaned them up, and look how nice they look. So, you know, I'm lucky there. So anyway, that's going on here today. So that's what's going on at the moment. So, I'm going to work on some brakes now. And it's 27 today, nice and hot. And I'll get back to you in a while and show you what's happening. Okay, so we got the brakes off here. So I'll just do a little video for Rowan. This is good for him too. Maybe he can show this video when the car comes into Australia on YouTube. The brakes are off. Wheel cylinders on the back I did not replace because if you pull the cut back, you can see in there they're like new, they're not leaking. So why would I replace them? Plus they've been replaced not long ago. The same token, you can see it's got brand new shocks on it. And the e-brake cable, I don't know if you can make it out or not down in there. You can see it kind of right there, you can see the goldness of it. The e-brake cables are all new too. So, oh, hang on. So what we're going to do here next is on here, this is the rubbing pads where the brakes line up. I always put a little bit of anti-seize on there. Because if you don't, you'll notice sometimes if you ever do a brake job and you see it's cut into there in the metal, that's because no one put anti-seize. Because the brakes move back and forth on them pads. So I put a little anti-seize. Like I say, here's his old brakes here. And they're like new, but they want to see new ones. So we'll clean these up, we'll box them up in the boxes that the new ones come in, and we'll give them back to him and he'll have spares. He can also see, if they're looking in here, he's got brand new leaf springs from front to back. Tailpipes, exhaust is all new. Gas tank's been flushed and cleaned. U-joints have been replaced, if you can see way, way, way in there. So we're trying to give an example. And we got the front ones off here now. And these wheel cylinders are brand new. These are brand new. So, again, I put the anti-seize on there. So the brakes have just arrived. We're going to get the new brake shoes on. And I got new shocks to go in the front. So that's where we're going next. Then we've pressure washed and scraped and cleaned all this. This is the only part of the car that needs to be texture sprayed, and we're going to do that next too. Okay, so there we have it. Front brakes are all on. If you're out there watching Rowan, hopefully this is good for you. Maybe, like I say, you can download this video. I know you want pictures. I'll send you pictures, but you can download the video and maybe show them this too. There they all are. You can see the springs are all good. Everything's good. I installed the new shock. You can see the new shock in there. New rubbers, all that. So that's good. Now I'm going to texture spray this, but I got to do some masking. So I'm not gonna, you know, put that in the video. I'll continue with doing the other side of the brakes and showing them to you. So that all looks good. Of course, the back. The back brakes, there they are, like we saw. Again, new shocks, new e-brake cables, U-joints, exhaust, leaf springs. Car's nice and clean underneath. That is it. So now let's take a look over here. The Blazer is outside. As the door jamb's all painted up. Looking mighty good. Jambs are painted. And look at that color match. Look at the color here to the dash. It's dead on. And of course the doors themselves, you saw the hood already. That's the hood you had seen. Doors are painted. It's going to be a little loud in here. Compressors over there. Doors are all painted. Really nice. Alright. Okay, we'll get back to you in a bit. Okay, so we got the brake shoes off the passenger side here, sitting there. Again, they are new, but we got new ones to put on. There we go. Again, you can see the wheel cylinder is new. Clean this up. I don't know if you can see it right in there. It's kind of dark in here. You can see the top of the new shock. There's the new shocks up in there. So now what I do is when I put brakes together, this is what I was talking about. These are your little rubbing pads right here. Okay. You just barely see on that one. You see that little bit of a mark? That's because nobody put any of this. I used to use a little bit of this on there. It just never sees. You put a little bit on there, the brakes rub on there, it makes everything good. So there we go. So we're going to start with doing that. In the meantime, take a look in here. Base coat's on only?
Base coat, yeah, for Sean.
Sean's doing my firewall and the base coat. Clear coat's coming next. There we go. That's the base. 3 coats. That's Wimbledon white. So I went with a Ford color, like I said. So there's the firewall done. Looking good. So this right here, I can set the body on the frame within the next week or so. Then I can put my engine and tranny and get all my steering hooked up in her. Excellent. Well, we'll come back to this when it's all clear coated. And we'll come back to the little 54 Ford too, while we get the rest of the brakes finished up. Okay, here we go. We've got the front brakes on. I know this video might be boring for some people, but I'm just doing this so Rowan has something that he can show the guys in Australia, obviously, which we've been talking about. So the other thing I forgot to mention, when I am putting this anti-seize a little bit on the pads and behind here, I said, I'm very, very, very little. Don't gob it on there, because if that shit sprays up, it's going to get all over your shoes, right? You don't want that. The other thing you got to remember is when you put these springs on, always take a pair of pliers after, bend them over. They're always wider open. You want to bend them over. Less chance of them coming apart. So there we go. So new shock is in there on this side too. So I'm going to grease this up, pack it up, and then I've just got the rear back one to videotape. And that's it. We got 4 brakes. Now the other thing with drum brakes is I'll spin them, I'll set them up. Now I can't drive this car, it's not insured, but after you usually put like 100 miles on it, I tell everyone readjust them, because they seat in, they go out of adjustment. You got to adjust them. They're not like a disc brake. So remember, Rowan, if you're out there watching, you're going to have to readjust these brakes, because I can't drive the car, and even if I could, I ain't putting 100 miles on it, because I just don't have time to drive it that much. Alright, let's get this together and get onto the back. So we've got all the rear brakes off here. There they are, laying right there. Here's our new ones. Again, I want to show the guys, if they're watching, there's the wheel cylinder inside the rears. It looks like, to me, they've been replaced a few years back, so they look good. So now we're going to, we'll get the rear brakes on here. Okay, so here we go, rear brake, the last one is done. Now remember, anyone ever doing brakes, if you're dealing with drum brakes, if you'll notice, your shoe your grabbing surface is always longer on one than the other. The shorter one always goes to the front. Remember that. Shorter one always goes to the front there. So I'm going to put the drum on, then basically just set the brakes up, and that's the best we can do. So hopefully that works, and then we'll show you what else is going on here in a bit. Okay, well that's the end of today. The brakes are on. I adjusted up the front. I got to jack it up tomorrow and adjust up the back. But here we can show you something else that went on. You all remember how we started here. We showed you the base of my Model A on the firewall, the Wimbledon White. Well, there it is. She's cleared. There she is. She's all cleared. Beautiful. I didn't want to go bright white. I just didn't want that. I wanted this nice Wimbledon White. That's going to look gorgeous with the blue. Oh, trust me. Anyway, so there you go. And Rowan, there you go. Like I say, we'll adjust up your rear brakes tomorrow. I'll send you some photos over of all your brakes like you asked me to. We've got the old brakes right here in a box for you. Got them all labeled up so you know. I'll shove them in the trunk. And I don't know what else to tell you, man. If they're not happy with that, I don't know what to tell you. I know you need a picture of the clutch too. I'm working on that, so give me a chance for that one. But hey, the 54 is coming along. I'm thinking another probably 2 weeks and we'll get her in the body shop. I'm just got to get this rocker done next, and that's it for rust repair. Okay? Anyway, to everyone out there watching, remember, it's always a good time at Old Time, and we'll see you next time.